Accidents occur in the home all the time. Tragic, yes, but not exactly out of the ordinary. To us, it may seem suspicious. That's because we have context. Anybody walking in with zero information will have no reason to suspect a thing. Look, I've told you this before, but it seems to bear repeating. You are the only ones who can create problems for yourselves. With a valid alibi, nothing to be afraid of. And remember, for all intents and purposes, I do not exist. The only way anyone would know about me is if you told them. This is your last chance to back out.
Hi and welcome to the Soho London Independent Film Festival. I'm Liz Farah-Hardy and I'm really excited to be here with Sam May, who is... there's too much of a list here. He's like the director, the writer, sound design. I mean, you did everything on the most incredible film, I Do Not Exist. And I can't quite believe to say that that is your debut. That's your first film.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when I watched it, I thought this was like, oh, this is a high-end, film that's very experienced director. And I was kind of like double checking there. I mean, how did this come about?
Well, I've been trying to put together a film for quite a long time that I'd be able to finance myself. Obviously, that's quite difficult.
Yeah.
Given how much films cost. So I've been working through quite a lot of scripts over the past few years, and then obviously with COVID that stopped things a bit, but eventually I came across an idea that I hope that I'd be able to make relatively cheap and that I'll be able to do myself, and that's how it started out.
I'm just going to question that there because it doesn't look low budget at all. But was this done on peanuts then?
Well, it cost about £5,000.
Okay, it looks like it's high budget. It really does. And I mean, it's so well that the way you've put everything together. I mean, it's so well constructed. Like the sound design with the whole sort of principal photography and the performances as well. I mean, how did you work with the actors?
Well, I think I got quite lucky, especially with the main actor, Henry Davis.
Yeah.
When I was looking through, all the casting photos, his face immediately stood out to me. I think I knew, pretty much straight away that he was right for the part.
Right.
Yeah, and he was a great help getting it made.
Oh, was he? Was he quite collaborative with you?
Yeah,
then?
and I couldn't really afford to pay the actors a huge amount, and they were very generous with their time because I think they were very enthusiastic about the script, all of them, and obviously when you've got great actors to work with, it makes everything a whole lot easier.
Yep. Yeah.
I think when you've got a great face, that kind of masks the fact that you haven't got any money to work with.
And I have to ask, where did the idea for the film come from?
Well, there were kind of various different strands that came together. I think the main idea was that death and killing and all, that kind of stuff is glossed over very easily in mainstream cinema. And it's kind of, you see, somebody killed on screen, it's kind of brushed away very quickly. You don't deal with, if somebody, you see a lot of these action films, they go killing dozens if not hundreds of people, and you don't think about the effect that has on them. And that's never really discussed. So my idea was to take a character who does this for a job, and people that hire him, they're complicit, and then see realistically how does that affect them.
Right, and it's because the way that it's shot, it gives you time to really think about that. It's quite unsettling, and because it's so beautiful as well. At the same time as something that's quite horrible going on, it's Yeah, I mean, what were the main challenges that you came up against making this?
I think just from a production aspect, I think initially I really didn't want to do everything myself, but the way things worked out, and the money I had, I just realised I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do it. Really, I tried to get a producer on board to help me out with doing all the organising and finding locations and stuff, but it was just too difficult to find somebody who was willing to commit their time to that. And then, I thought, I'd rather not spend so much money paying, so many different people and just do it myself. So I think it was just about feasible.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's such a thing. A lot of people, unless they've made a film themselves, I don't think they realise just the amount of effort and hard work that goes into making an indie film. And because there isn't those big budgets to pay people, it does seem that you end up having to wear all the different hats. But that makes better filmmakers. It's like, I mean, what you've created there with a little budget, wow, it's amazing. I mean, what are you most proud of?
I think just how it works cohesively overall. I think it's quite long for a short film. I think, a lot of short films, they're 20 minutes, 15 minutes or shorter. And a lot of the feedback I've had is saying it really didn't feel that long at all.
It doesn't, no.
And I think, that's the best thing, that it's not, oh, you've got some nice shots or you've got some nice sound design, but it does work cohesively overall. I think that's probably the best thing about it overall.
Amazing. And what are your hopes for the film? What's the next step for the future?
Well, I think it's a good calling card for myself, really. I'm just trying to get myself out there.
Yeah.
Really, if it's just, this is just my first film, I can hope people can see it. And, this is what I can do with a very small amount of money and, equipment. If you're willing to give me more money, I'll be able to show you what I can do with that.
Absolutely. And I mean, and this is the thing with short films, they are calling cards. I mean, how important are film festivals to you?
It's been quite a long run trying to build up traction, starting with online festivals and stuff, but working up to in-person festivals like this. I think meeting people like yourself and networking and stuff, that's the way to move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, bringing everybody together is so important. Yeah, like it really matters.
I think especially after COVID, getting back to meeting people, just being here.
Yeah, it's so nice to actually be face to face, isn't it? Yeah, that makes such a difference. And have you got any kind of bits of advice you could give to any aspiring filmmakers out there?
I think really you've just got to go for it. If you want to make a film, you've just got to take the plunge. I think that's the great thing about independent filmmaking today, is that you can pick up this kind of equipment that you need very cheaply. Even a 4K camera you can get very cheaply.
Even iPhones.
Yeah, I think if you can get a good lens on them.
Yeah.
And if you can find good people that are willing to work with you, enthusiastic people, then it's just the best way to challenge yourself and see if you can actually do it.
Yeah.
I think these days as well, I studied film production at university, and I would say that is a good path as well.
Right.
But the prices have gone up a lot. It is a very expensive route, and I think now it's probably cheaper to make your own film and say, either yes, this is for me, or no, I'm not up for this, rather than spending, probably about £30,000 now for an education course in the end that you might regret.
And also, as well, nothing counts the same as actually experience on a live set. It's completely different, isn't it? You can recreate, but actually when you're there and the real challenges that come up. But yeah. Oh, Sam, it's so lovely to speak to you, and I'm so excited to be screening this. So you need to watch this. The film is called I Do Not Exist. And the festival is going to start on the 25th of January and till the 28th of January. Make sure you catch Sam's film, because it's a masterpiece, actually. It really is. It's absolutely fabulous, fabulous film. And very excited to be screening it at the SohoLIFF. So thank you. Thank you so much.